You've joined me again, Bubbles. I love and appreciate you. I want you to think about something. Use your imagination, okay? Imagine seeing 140 content creators and 68 streamers, and you see them discover an ecosystem that's contrarian deep value, and it's 11x away from flipping Cardano. Imagine that, okay? Then, if you will, please, keep your back straight. I want you to imagine me, your friend, shows you a hyper bullish, parabolic social metrics, right? This chart, this graph. Now, I know it's a bit blurry. If you zoom in, you get to see, okay, this is on Lunar Crush. Lunar Crush, to basically just show you like trending and stuff on Twitteroonies. Now, here's the thing, friends, just quickly. You probably think Lunar Crush, these social metrics, there's some edge there. There actually isn't. We tried to use it a long time ago, many years ago. You see, price moves first, then narratives follow. Tell you that, right? It's the same thing with socials. So if you're thinking about a coin, what we all thought at the start, which is, don't blame me. People think, okay, well, if I follow the coins with the most number of tags and the most number of people talking about it, that'll be the coin that pumps the most. What you come to find is, though, no. Price and sentiment move the same. So when the coin goes up, more people talk about it. It doesn't give you like an automatic buy signal. And, it goes in waves, okay? So this is important, though, because what I'm showing you is not coin related, okay? This is your friend Somi related. This is what I wished someone could give me back in the day, okay? So here are my socials, rank 1 in this PulseChain ecosystem. Look at this, smashing it. Interactions, 202,000. Wow. Look at this guy with a core cap. He's got a core cap, friends. My YouTube is number 8. Okay, so no one's YouTube is on here. Somehow my YouTube even made it on. That's huge. Somehow my YouTube is getting interactions with PulseChain. They can all link it through. So I want you to think about this, right? You know me now. Okay, you know me, well, I'm in a lot of coins. I'm in a lot of coins, man. I had Bitcoin, Ethereum, man. Friends, I had made 108x in Solana. You know my track record. If you go to my Twitteroonies, friends, you can click on the top right here. We can go to my description. You can click on the imager. I ever have this little target. Look at all these coins, man. I owned Alpha, made 90x. Zuz, oh, you don't want to know what this thing is. It did 13x, by the way, in a day. Right, you have these other trash, Anchor, 10x. FTX coin, 8.4x. You have Solana, Mega 108x. But these are my favorite ones. You have Shaman, 17x. You had all these other scams. Well, of course, my Pikachu coin. I'll never forget Pikachu. Pikachu, we did 42x. So these are the ones that were just worth mentioning. Okay, coins that went less than a 4x, I didn't bother recording. Isn't it funny? Coins went so far in the bull market in 2021, the year alone, where I was embarrassed at the time to write anything less than a 4x. Because I was new to Twitter, wasn't on YouTube, I didn't know, right? Didn't know what everyone else was doing. Isn't that wild? It's like, you're funny. Like, yes, like I didn't want to write even a 3.5x. I thought, maybe everyone will say, nah, that's embarrassing, take that off, right? Now, obviously, I wish I went and I wrote down all the winners. I just lost them all. I just lost all these names and stuff. But you see the point, friend. So I don't have a bias. That's why, but you're learning, right? My metrics are blowing up. And you've imagined this world, right, where there's all these streamers as well who've seen the same thing. And I want you to remember to use your imagination to think of the rest of the crypto industry still fading this undervalued ecosystem that I may or may not talk about. Okay, PulseChain, PulseX, and Hex. You can get them on goruledefi.com. You have to buy ETH, use the bridge your ETH over, and then buy. There are other ways you can buy as well, friends, but yeah, it's a basic part. Okay, so all these availabilities out here, the rest of the crypto ecosystem is still fading it. And that's okay. You don't blame them because there's heaps of coins, man. Like, you fade stuff every day. So do I. Well, I get people throw like 50,000 things in front of my face every day. You don't know, man. You don't know. Some of them go up. Most of them don't. Because you end up getting taught about the top, okay? But now it comes down to how you want to navigate this space, because there are people bullish today on Solana as FTX is distributing on them. Literally the insiders. The VCs are distributing on them. And you are faced with some harsh facts, such as EVM is not the most adopted tech in crypto. EVM isn't. You also have to face the fact that Solana has this VC type of smell about it, where you have a friend like me who's been saying for a long time, Solana is going to get that exit pump. It's going to go right into the soy zone. People are going to get out in the background. Okay, now you're watching these things happen. Okay, and you're probably wondering, like, how come people are more willing to run towards that rather than other stuff? Well, you can look at it however way you want, but at the end of the day, the people who want to get out the most will pay a higher premium for advertising. They'll pay a higher premium to journalists. They'll pay a higher premium to the influencer channels. Now, I'm not accusing anyone in particular, but I just think it's very suspicious that of all the ecosystems, the ones that need to exit the hardest from the VC scam, that's the one that pumps, whilst not being the adopted technology. I just think it's a coincidence. Or is it? Okay. So after all that, you have a friend like me telling you, right, because I still have a heart. That's the thing. I still have a heart to tell you it's not too late. It's not too late. The SuperTrend on PulseChain flipped green on the weekly, which is no easy task. You saw the world's #1 biggest DAI holder, that wallet, bought up Pulse and PulseX and Hex. You saw the amount of firepower required to shove it above the SuperTrend on the weekly. You saw it, friends. It's not easy, not an easy task, okay? So that's why I'm going to ask you, are you paying attention? I know I am, okay? Because at the end of the day, we still have a lottery coins, friends. Yes, I love a Tropa ecosystem. It's got the Tropa, PDI, and Teddy Bear stuff. You got that going on. You have these new coins coming out. We love Tangang, right, on the PulseChain ecosystem. There's also the Paw Pleb and 9-inch. You also have, and there's all these others, friends, all these others. But at the end of the day, I'm still telling you, your #1 goal doesn't matter where you are. Even if you're outside, friends, I have Cult DAO, I'm doing ICOs. If you're able to take profits in them, take advantage of PulseChain and PulseX still being contrarian, deeply undervalued. Because we might find at the end of this cycle, the way to make a 100x is not a clean buy this core coin and hold for most people. What we might find is it requires getting leverage on the ecosystem and then rotating into the core. For example, ICOSA as well. Friends, I love ICOSA and Hedron, ICOSA Hedron. So ICOSA is leverage on Hex. You might find this over time that with other ecosystems too, that the way to get the biggest amount is through this ratio bunny hopping, okay? And what it means is basically buying the undervalued leverage gem, and when it goes up, you rotate into the core, and then you hope in that next wave, the final wave up, the core goes up, okay? But obviously you hope that the lottery ticket that you're in continues its second wave up. You're not guaranteed that. Because you're in new cycle territory, it's not a guarantee for, your coin to have another second leg up. So you have to be careful. And you always got to ask yourself, right, are you early? Look at this. Max Keiser on the left bought Bitcoin at $1. Michael Chad Saylor, his average price was $29,000. So if you have a strong community, you will make it. Remember, Max bought it at $1. Michael Saylor bought 29,000x higher. Guess what? Still went in profit. Still went in profit. Now you might say, 29,000x versus a plus 50%, which is Michael Chad Saylor's average, ROI. That's completely different. Yes, it is different. But your conviction. Michael Chad Saylor had undying invincibility, conviction when it comes to thinking about, is Bitcoin going to survive whatever the FUD is thrown at it? For you and me, it's not good enough though to be in Bitcoin. Right? Obviously, got Bitcoin friends, but the thing is, it ain't changing anything. It's the leave it on the side stack. Okay, so Michael Chad Saylor's ferocious energy and his motivation to shill Bitcoin, still saying it's cheap. Think about the power of the community. This does permeate everyone, right? This permeates through the air. It's cheap, it's cheap. We're going to trillions of dollars. You need that. You gotta think, are you in a coin? That's why, friends, when you're in a coin, a community, you've got to be looking for, it's a cult. They're gonna tell me Hex is cheap at $4. They're gonna be telling me it's cheap anyway. If PulseX is up 100x from the low in a straight line, they're literally gonna be telling me, it's cheap. It's gone up 10,000x. You want that. Look, and in every community, they say the same thing. The only difference is, has your community, the new ones you want to talk to, the new ones you want to investigate, have they survived the minus 99%? Have they? Have they survived a literal minus 99% hyperinflationary dump, abandonment for the leader, which wasn't abandonment, but everyone felt like it? Have they survived that? You might say, well, most communities haven't been tested that way. But there you go. There's your risk. There's your risk. So you can see probably over time, PulseChain, PulseX, and Hex will have lower volatility on the downside. It'll still be extreme, but these are the things you got to look for. Unfortunately, right, once we leave this zone, I don't know what else there is to get. We've had too much time. We've had way too much time. We thought we were going to be the first to leave the station. PulseChain, PulseX, and Hex was one of the last. There's no guarantees, right? Now, there is Chainlink. Of course, there's Chainlink. It's a different ball game, though. Okay, it's not as deeply undervalued contrarian. By the way, Chainlink, though, is still contrarian. Ethereum maxis hate Chainlink, and a lot of people hate it because the coin does nothing, because they still can't get it through their heads right. The best time to buy Ethereum was when it was a Ponzi scam piece of trash and it did nothing. That's when you got your 4,500x in Ethereum. But if you buy Ethereum after it had DeFi on it, proper DeFi in 2020, you're buying it at $400. $400 to 4,000 is your 10x. Congratulations. Okay. But if you just went in Ethereum ICO, you're like, yeah, this is a scam. Let's see what happens. Compare 4,500x to 10x. Okay. Completely different. So look for these communities with a strong core coin, or a strong core community, because they might be what you have to bunny hop into over time to make your bigger returns. What does bunny hop mean? For friends, all it takes is like, we could be doing the ICO. I don't know, maybe drift somehow does like, 15x or something. Rotate profits into the core that you think is going to survive, right? And you already know Hex survived the minus 99%. Think about the other coins, man. Can Phantom do it? Can Cardano do it? I hope they never go through that, but that's just something you have to think about, okay? And you might also say, well, it's not worth going all in one coin. Sure, 100%. I agree. It is, but it's more of a framework for your mind to think about, okay, if you're in profit somewhere, like for example, let's say PulseX is day one sack in like 6 months. Just day one sack, PulseX, day one sack. And you made like a 20x on a poop coin. Literally, you put 1 grand in, turn it to 20 grand. I just want you to think, that 20 grand, if you bought PulseX, even at day one sack, you think, can I see this coin at 5x above day one sack one day? 5x. Okay, so what you've actually done is, if you've made it 20, you rotate your profits into PulseX. If that does a 5 in the future, now you've got 100. That's your 100x. This is the type of mentality you're going to have to think about as we go and traverse through this bull market euphoria, because things are going to be popping up left and right. And I'll tell you right now, the people who don't rotate profits, they're the ones who get wrecked, but also it's the people who keep playing with the portfolios too much. If you have a long-term vision, a long-term goal, you can keep peeling off your portfolio and stacking your strong core altcoins, and that's going to give you the edge you need compared to everyone else holding Bitcoin for a trashy little 2x. Make sure you like, subscribe, bell button, and I'll catch you soon.